And finally, Toyota remains the world's top-selling car maker for the 5th consecutive year, having
What if I told you Toyota started as a textile manufacturing industry, creating the first automatic loom that ever existed? Today, it's undoubtedly one of the biggest automobile companies in the world, with over $1 billion in revenue, surpassing the likes of Tesla, Ford, and BYD Auto for over a decade. Behind this success lies a story of brutal competition, secret strategies, and a battle for the future of transportation. But how did the son of a humble farmer revolutionize the entire automobile industry? This is the story of how Toyota quietly crushed its biggest rivals and why no one saw it coming. Many years back, before the First World War, Japan was awakening to a brutal reality. The West was advancing at an unprecedented level, industrializing, modernizing, and leaving nations like Japan in the dust. At this time, they were left with two options: embrace the revolution or become irrelevant. The Japanese government chose the former. Meanwhile, a man named Sakichi Toyoda decided to answer the call. He was just in his 20s when he stumbled upon a book detailing the innovations of Western inventors. Among them, one name caught his attention: a man who had created motorized textile machines. It was in that moment that Sakichi's life changed forever. One evening, he returned home from work and saw his mother, exhausted, hunched over a loom, weaving cloth with painstaking effort. The sight struck him like lightning. What if there was a better way? He realized that an automatic weaver machine could not only improve his mother's life, but revolutionize the entire textile industry. However, he had one problem. His father rejected the idea, but Sakichi refused to listen. He poured everything into his dream, every second, every ounce of effort. And at just 24 years old, his obsession began to materialize. In 1891, Sakichi Toyoda invented Japan's first power loom, a manually operated machine crafted from wood, but far more efficient than anything that had come before. Powered by a modest 1-horsepower oil engine, it was the beginning of a legacy. By 1906, wealthy investors backed him, and the Toyota Loom Company was born. Within 3 years, he had achieved the impossible: the creation of Japan's first fully automatic loom. At this moment, Sakichi was unstoppable, or so he thought. But nearly 4 years later, the economy collapsed. The recession totally destroyed Japan, and Sakichi lost everything: his assets, his company, his workforce, even the rights to his own inventions. The man who had built an empire from nothing was once again left with nothing. And so, he made a decision that he never wanted. He set sail for America, where innovations are the order of the day. When Sakichi Toyoda arrived in the United States, he was shocked. The country had embraced the Industrial Revolution like no other. Factories and machines replaced manual labor. And then there were the cars everywhere. This ordinary sight became an obsession, waiting to be unleashed. Returning to Japan, he was a different man, inspired, driven, and ready to rebuild. He founded Toyota Spinning and Weaving. This time his looms were fully automatic, and then came the deal of a lifetime. In 1929, Sakichi sold the patent rights to his loom for 1 million yen. But money wasn't what he wanted. His true ambitions lie in the fortune he had earned. So, he made a fateful decision, one that would result in the creation of the world's biggest automobile industry. It all began with Kichiro Toyoda, the eldest son of Sakichi Toyoda, and a brilliant engineer. Meanwhile, Sakichi handed the 1 million yen to his son with a single condition: use it only for the research and development of automobiles. From an early age, Kichiro was drawn to the sciences, a passion that led him to Tokyo Imperial University, where he earned a degree in mechanical engineering in 1920. But academia wasn't enough. Instead, he joined his father's company, Toyota Boshoku, a firm focused not on cars, but on industrial looms. Even though Japan had yet to stake its claim in the automotive world, but Kiichiro knew this was the future. Yet Toyota wasn't an automaker, at least not yet. At first, Kiichiro doubted himself. He wasn't an inventor like his father. But like his father, he also got inspired to visit America. There he studied Ford, General Motors, and Chrysler, dissecting their methods, analyzing their processes, and absorbing their secrets. When he returned to Japan in 1930, he carried more than just knowledge. He carried the future and with it, he would build an empire that would one day rule the automotive world. With knowledge gained from the West, the Japanese government pushed its industries to break free from foreign dominance. They wanted a car that was truly their own. But just as the dream was taking shape, Sakichi Toyoda passed away suddenly at the age of 63. Now determined to see his father's vision come to life, he built a research facility in the late 1930s, ensuring that Japan's automotive future would never again rely on Western technology. But there was something deeper driving him. Kiichiro didn't want to build cars by exploiting cheap labor like his Western competitors. Instead, he wanted to create something new, something uniquely Japanese. In 1933, the Toyota Automatic Loom Works established an automobile department. Within just 2 years, the first Japanese-made automotive engine prototype was complete. And then, in 1935, the Model A1 was born, the first true Japanese automobile. Also known as the Toyota AA, it was sleek, powerful, and a symbol of national pride. This signaled that Toyota had arrived with Kiichiro as its vice president. But the name Toyota wasn't always Toyota. Originally, the company name bore its founder's surname, Toyota. That changed in 1936 because in Japanese, Toyota required 8 brushstrokes to write a number associated with luck and prosperity. Meanwhile, Toyota meant fertile rice paddies, a name that hardly fit an industry built on steel and speed. With that change, Toyota Motor Corporation was officially born on August 28, 1937. It was time to take on the giants, Ford and General Motors. But Toyota wouldn't compete on power alone. Instead, they focused on affordability. While American-made vehicles flooded Japan, Toyota's strategy was simple: make cars that people could actually buy. And so, a new plant was built in Kurama, Japan, soon to be known as Toyota City. It should have been the start of an empire. But then came World War II. During the World War, the company was caught up in the controversy. It turned out that it was forced to manufacture trucks for the Imperial Japanese Army, and full-scale car production was banned in Japan until 1949. The war took a toll on the Toyota family, on the company, and Japan itself. War brought Toyota to the edge of extinction. By the late 1940s, the company was on the brink of bankruptcy. Kiichiro Toyoda was forced to resign. His employees were out of deep respect for their leader and resigned voluntarily alongside him. It should have been the end, but the company was destined for greatness. The Korean War saved Toyota. With war raging in the Korean peninsula, the United States military placed an order for 5,000 Toyota vehicles. The company that had once stood on the edge of collapse was suddenly reborn. With its Kurama factory running at full capacity, Toyota turned a profit once again. But the battle wasn't over yet. In the 1950s, Toyota discovered a brutal truth. American workers were 9 times more productive than Japanese workers. The problem wasn't the people, it was the process. So Toyota had to evolve or die. And so, they redesigned everything. They stripped down every inefficiency, streamlined operations, and rebuilt their entire production system from the ground up. It soon became a revolution in manufacturing, a revolution that would soon terrify the very same American automakers they once admired. In 1952, the company set out to build its first fully in-house passenger car, the Toyota Crown. For the first time, Toyota wasn't just assembling truck-based vehicles. They were designing and engineering a car from the ground up. But tragedy struck. Before he could see his dream become reality, Kiichiro Toyoda passed away in 1952. He never got to witness the Crown roll off the production line. Just as Toyota was rising, its visionary was gone. With leadership in crisis, 2 men stepped up to fill the void. Eiji Toyoda, Kiichiro's cousin, and Taiichi Ono, a brilliant manufacturing mind. What they did next changed the global auto industry forever. After rearranging factory layouts, perfecting workflows, and eliminating waste, Toyota's new leaders redefined efficiency. It was no longer just about building cars. It was about building them faster, smarter, and better than anyone else. And in doing so, they created the legendary Toyota production system, a model that would soon leave even Detroit scrambling to catch up. That same year, Toyota ramped up exports, aggressively expanding worldwide. In 1955, they shipped Land Cruiser kits to Latin America. By 1956, full Land Cruisers were sent to the Philippines and Myanmar as part of Japan's war reparations. Thailand got a Toyota branch in 1957, and then came the moment that changed everything. In 1958, Toyota established its first overseas factory in Brazil, the world's most legendary off-roader, the Land Cruiser. After so many years, it remained the most successful SUV of all time. By the 1960s, Japan's economy was booming. Incomes rose, roads improved. For the first time, the average Japanese citizen could afford a car. Toyota answered the call with affordable economy cars like the Toyota Corolla, a name that would go on to become one of the best-selling vehicles in history. At the same time, Japan's auto industry was changing. Foreign automakers were beginning to enter the market, and Toyota saw the future: unity. Instead of fighting alone, Toyota strategically invested in other Japanese automakers. It bought stakes in Hino Motors and a 16.8% stake in Daihatsu, a company specializing in Kei cars, Japan's ultra-small highway legal vehicles. What started as a strategic move became an alliance that would shape the future of Toyota. In 1984, Toyota and G Motors announced a controversial, high-stakes collaboration, New United Motor Manufacturing Incorporated, in Fremont, California. On paper, it was a win-win. For GM, it was a chance to unlock the secrets of the Toyota way. They also wanted access to Toyota's small car enterprise, something GM had struggled to perfect for many years. For Toyota, New United Motor Manufacturing Incorporated was their golden ticket into America. The joint venture allowed Toyota to establish its first North American manufacturing base, bypassing import tariffs and embedding itself into the American labor landscape. But that wasn't Toyota's only play in the 1980s. They were out for total domination. At the dawn of the decade, Toyota won its first ever Japanese Quality Control Award, a signal to the world that it was a leader in reliability and precision. But Toyota didn't want to be known for bulletproof economy cars. They wanted to conquer performance, prestige, and power. So they set their sights on two worlds: motorsports and luxury. Toyota stormed onto the global racing scene, competing at the highest levels of rally racing and beyond. With every victory, Toyota's reputation as a serious performance contender grew stronger. Then in 1989, they made their boldest move yet: Lexus. For decades, Toyota's flagship models, the Crown and Century, were legends in Japan, but nobodies on the world stage. They simply couldn't compete with the likes of Mercedes-Benz, BMW, or Jaguar. Toyota had spent over $1 billion since 1983, developing high-level engines to change that. In 2015, Toyota unveiled the Mirai, the world's first hydrogen fuel cell vehicle. It wasn't a concept, it wasn't a prototype, it was a reality. Toyota had spent over 20 years developing this technology, amassing over 5,000 patents, and then in a shocking move, Toyota gave those patents away for free to competitors, to researchers, to energy companies, because this wasn't just about Toyota's success, this was about the future of the planet. While other automakers were still debating the future of clean energy, Toyota was building it. Despite their successes and achievements, Toyota still had to go head-to-head against their biggest competitors. Toyota's secret weapon has always been reliability. Not flashy innovation, not aggressive marketing, just bulletproof, long-lasting vehicles that customers trust. The Toyota Corolla, Camry, and RAV4 are household names, not because they scream performance, but because they never let their owners down. Compare that to Ford, once an American titan. Ford's quality took a nosedive in the 2000s, with transmission issues and poor manufacturing decisions. Even today, recalls haunt its brand. Meanwhile, Tesla, sophisticated, yes. A cult-like following? Absolutely. But ask any Tesla owner about panel gaps, software glitches, and unpredictable repairs, and you'll see why Toyota continues to dominate where it matters: trust. Over the years, Tesla gets the headlines, Ford gets the nostalgia, and Toyota gets the sales. The company doesn't chase viral moments or make bold proclamations. Instead, it focuses on refining its hybrid technology, maintaining its supply chains, and delivering vehicles at an unbeatable cost-to-value ratio. Elon Musk's Tesla has become the darling of investors, but its biggest challenge isn't production, it's scalability. Tesla still struggles to produce vehicles at the level of traditional automakers. Meanwhile, Toyota has mastered mass production, churning out millions of vehicles annually, while ensuring quality control. Ford, on the other hand, struggles with its identity. The brand jumps between nostalgia-driven gas guzzlers and desperate EV catch-up attempts. The result is an inconsistent strategy that fails to capture any market convincingly. While Tesla bet everything on EVs and Ford is scrambling to catch up, Toyota played the long game. It didn't rush into full electrification. Instead, it perfected hybrid technology with models like the Prius, Highlander Hybrid, and RAV4 Hybrid, vehicles that offer fuel efficiency without the range anxiety of an EV. This strategy has paid off. Toyota sells more hybrids than any other brand. As EV charging infrastructure remains inadequate in most parts of the world, customers continue to favor Toyota's practical, fuel-saving options over Tesla's all-electric gamble. Despite Tesla's rise in market valuation and Ford's attempts to reinvent itself, the numbers don't lie. Toyota outsells them both consistently. This is because the brand understands something fundamental. Consumers want dependable, affordable, and efficient vehicles. In an industry obsessed with disruption, Toyota has proven that discipline beats hype. It doesn't need to be the loudest. It doesn't need to be the flashiest. It just needs to do what it's always done, to always deliver. And that's why Toyota remains the undisputed king of the auto industry. But with Toyota's dominance showing no sign of fading, the real question is, how long can it last? Will Tesla's technological innovation ever outweigh Toyota's decades of trust and reliability?